Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope all of you will be doing fine. I have got your geography book. This is for class 6. As in the last lecture, we have learned about the universe and its components, and the chapter number was 1, Earth as a planet. So today we are going to start our next topic. What is our next topic? Our next topic is solar system and Earth. Dear students, we are learning about solar system and Earth from our previous classes. So you people must have the basic knowledge of it. So let's read out and find what we can have extra in here and what is going to be new for us. The solar system is composed of 8 planets which revolve around the sun in their respective orbits. As you know, students, that the solar system has got 8 planets and they are revolving around the sun. Sun is basically the central point. In their respective orbits mean all these lines, these represent the orbits. Okay, so each and every planet have got its own orbit. Okay, so they used to revolve around the sun in their own orbits. This system originated about 5 billion years ago when a cloud of gases and dust began to spin. Okay, as you know, we have learned in the previous topic that there was a Big Bang and we call it Big Bang theory. After the Big Bang, 500 years ago, 5 billion years ago, the cloud of gases and dust that were present in the space, they started to spin in a particular manner. This gaseous material began to cool with the passage of time. So as the time passes by, all these gaseous material and the dust, they gradually become cooler and cooler with the passage of time and appeared in the shape of the solar system. So finally, what we got a solar system. So this is not a procedure that took place in a limited time, or you can say in few years, 5 billion years. So you can imagine how much time they have taken to be a proper solar system. Okay, so in the center originated the sun, while the circulating gases and dust became planets which began to revolve around the sun. So sun is basically a collection of lots of very hot gases and dust. So the central point becomes the sun. Sun becomes the central point and the planets, they started to revolve around that sun. Okay, so those circulating gases and dust, they have taken the place of a planet. They become a planet and start to revolving around the sun. Okay, here we have a diagram of it and all these things are quite clear here. Sun is the bright star. It is comprised of hydrogen and helium gases. Hydrogen and helium gases are basically very hot gases. And it is a star, like we call Earth a planet. So sun is a star. It's a star and it has got central point and other planets are revolving around it. The temperature of its outer surface is about 6,000 centigrade. 6,000 centigrade is too hot to imagine basically. So the outer surface is too hot that there is no need to touch it. If you just enter in its proximity, if something gets closer to sun even, it will be burned. This is such a high temperature on its outer surface. It is a source of temperature and light for all the planets of the solar system. Dear students, you must have observed that in the daytime when we have got sun out, there is hot, and in the summer season it's too hot, in the winter it feels comfortable, and that heat and light, we got these two most important things from sun, and that is most important for all the planets in the solar system, included your Earth. Planets. The planets which revolve around the sun in their respective orbits get light and temperature from the sun. That is very obvious that all the planets that are revolving around the sun in their own orbits, they get their light and temperature from the sun. Sun is the main source. Our Earth is one of these planets which revolves around the sun in 365 days and 6 hours. Okay, so our Earth takes how much time? It takes 365 days plus 6 hours. So in 365 days, which we call a year. So you can say a whole year our Earth takes to revolve around the sun. To complete this one round around the sun, our Earth have to take 365 days, a whole year plus 6 hours. So what about this 6 hours? Let's check that out because it is also mentioned here. Interesting information. Do you know that these 6 hours after 4 years become 24 hours? Okay, so if we just count it, multiply it, 6 4s are, we have 24. So after 4 years, these 6 hours every year count and become 24 hours, due to which a day is added in the month of February. This is called the leap year, that is February 2016 and 2020. Okay, student, that is a very interesting thing. The leap year is a year when our February, which is usually of 28 days, it becomes of 29 days. And why is that? Because these 6 hours, they continue to add. Okay, and in the 4th year, they add and make one complete day of 24 hours. That is why after every 4 year, we have got a leap year. And in that leap year, we have got a February with 29. Okay, 29 days. So what we call it? We will call it a leap year. Okay, and the number of days in leap year, like in 2016 we have got leap year, and this year 2020, this is also a leap year because we have got February with 29 days. Okay, next let us see the period other planets take to revolve around the sun. So if you just take a look over here, here you can see the details. Okay, the details of about the planets, their distance from the sun, million kilometer. Okay, million kilometer. So simple kilometer is what? It's 1000 meters. So you can imagine million kilometers period of revolution around the sun. As Earth takes 365 days, likewise other planets also take few days to revolve around the sun. Let's read it out one by one. Mercury. It is 58 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes 88 days to complete a circle around the sun. The next we have got is Venus. Venus is 108 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes 225 days to complete a circle around the sun. Earth is 150 million kilometer away from sun. As you can see, we are moving out towards there is the distance from sun to the planet is getting higher and higher. Okay, so 150 million kilometer, and the period of revolution around the sun is 365 days, as I have told you. Next we have Mars. Mars is 228 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes 2 years to complete its revolution. Okay, so you can say that it moves a little bit faster as compared to Earth. Jupiter is 778 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes 12 years. So you can imagine that 12 years is such a long time period that it takes to revolve around the sun. Complete circle. Saturn is 1430 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes furthermore 30 years to complete one round around the sun. Uranus, we have 2870 million kilometer away from sun, and it takes 84 years. So you can imagine 84 years it takes to complete one circle around the sun, which we can do in 365 days. So next we have Neptune. Neptune is 4500 million kilometer away from sun, and the period of revolution around the sun is 165 years. It's such a long period. So you can see all these planets have got different period of revolution, and the distance is definitely also different. There is another information which I would like to share with you people, that we have got two types of planets in our solar system here. The first four planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these are called the inner planets, and these are solid and rocky. Okay, so what we call them? We call them inner planets. What we call them? We call them inner planets. Okay, and they are what? They are solid, rocky. Okay, so they are rocky. But these Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, these are called gas giants. What do we call them? We call them gas giants. Giants are creatures which are too big in size. So you can imagine they have given this name due to their size and gas, because they are mainly made of gaseous material. As we can say that the inner planets, these are rocky, they are solid, these are mostly gaseous. So they are the outer planets. We call them outer planets. Okay. So there is another fact. The ninth planet of the solar system, Pluto, was eliminated from the list of planets in August 2006. Before August 2006, it was considered that Pluto is a part of our solar system. But later on, it was declared that Pluto is a dwarf planet. We call it dwarf planet. So a dwarf planet is not basically a part of our solar system, because its surroundings, those are not clear. For planet, the surroundings of the planet must be clear. If that planet is a part of solar system, then its surroundings must be clear. There must not be anything in its surrounding. Otherwise, it will collide with it and will cause damage to it and other planets as well. But its surroundings were not clear. So in 2006, August 2006, Pluto was considered to be the dwarf planet, and it is not a part of our solar system. Okay, students, here I am going to show you. I have got a model of planets. All right, students, so here take a look. We have got a sun in the middle. Then we have got Mercury. Mercury orbit is this. Then we have Venus. And here is our Earth, Mars. So these four are considered to be the inner planets, and these are solid. Okay. Then what we have after Mars, we have got Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. As you can see, we have got a ring around the Saturn. Okay, Saturn have got a ring of different gases, dust and stones around it, and they feels like they are circling around it. Okay, so in this planet we can see that this Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus and Neptune, these four are called gas giants. Okay, outer planets and gas giants. Okay, So as you can see, all these orbits, they are round. Okay, these are completely round. So another difference of Pluto was that its orbit was a little bit oval. So it was not round, it was like that. So sometime it is far from sun as compared to Neptune, and then sometime its orbit becomes shorter, it becomes closer to sun, and Neptune is away from it. So we have got Pluto as a dwarf planet, and it is not a part of solar system anymore. Okay, so let's move towards our book. Next we have got shape and size of Earth. Shape of Earth. Earth is round like a football. If we travel in any direction on Earth, we shall reach the same place from where we started our journey. In ancient times, the people experimented and learned that the Earth was round. So now you must know that Earth is round like a football. But in the previous time, they don't have anything which they can show off, but they still through their experimental point of view, and they have learned by traveling that Earth is round. If you are starting your journey from one point, then after few years or days or month, you will come back to the same point. That's why people were sure of it that Earth is of round shape. But now as you can go into the space and you can observe Earth from there, you can see that Earth is round, and round like a football. So it's confirmed now that the shape of the Earth is round like a football. In present age, the picture of Earth taken from satellites have made it easy to understand what is the shape of Earth. So now you can see that in space we have got spaceships and satellite, and from there if we observe the Earth, it is round. Okay. Next we have size of Earth. Okay. Size of Earth. If we cut Earth along the equator into two equal halves, the distance from one end to the other is about 12,750 kilometers. This is the diameter of the Earth. Okay, so let me show you the globe and then you will understand this point. Okay students, here I've got a globe of Earth. So the diameter, what is the diameter? If you just take a look here, it's mentioned North Atlantic Sea. So if we are starting from North Point and we are going to circle it, okay, seems like we are traveling. So if we are traveling it and we cover all this distance and come back here, so you can see that we have got North Atlantic Ocean. So it's all clear that shape is round, and this is the distance that we have covered is called the diameter. Okay, so this is the diameter of this Earth. And what is the distance? This distance is 12,750 kilometers. Okay, what we call it? We call it the diameter, and this is 12,750 kilometers. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. What do we have here is, yes, if we move along the equator and take a complete round, the distance is about 40,000 kilometers. Okay, so if we move the equator means like the central point, the line that is crossing it. So if we move along the equator and take a complete round, the distance is about 40,000 kilometers. This is the circumference of the Earth. Okay, so what is this? This is the diameter. Diameter is something, if you take a look, then what do we have? We have got this globe, and let me show you that this portion that you can see is the diameter. Okay, this is the diameter. But if you consider the whole this red line, okay, the red line throughout, this is called what? This is the circumference. Okay. So this point only which is clear from here, the red line, this is what we call it the diameter. Okay. And the diameter, and if you are going to consider the whole of this line around the planet Earth, we call it what? Circumference. And what is the distance of that circumference? It is 40,000. Okay, 40,000 kilometer. This is the circumference of Earth. The area of the surface of the Earth is about 510 million square kilometer. Okay. So all the surface of the Earth, like all the surface, if you consider like all this, all of the Earth. So what is the area? Area is 510 million square kilometer. Okay. Million square kilometer. It's too big. So the next what we have? Next we have the movements. What are the movements of the Earth? The Earth takes two types of movements at the same time, rotation and revolution. Let's read out about rotation. The Earth moves around its axis. This is called what? This is rotation. The characteristics of this movements are: the movement is from west to east. Okay, from west to east. The speed of the movement is 1700 kilometer per hour. Okay, so what is the speed of the Earth rotation? It is 1700 kilometer per second. The Earth takes a complete rotation around its axis in 24 hours, which we call a day. Okay, so it takes a day for Earth to spin in its own axis. Okay, days and nights are formed as the result of this movement. Okay, so this is also clear from the globe. If you just take a look, let me show you once again that here, if you just take a look, then in this globe, you can see this movement. This movement is called what? Rotation. This is the rotation. Okay. So it's these 2 points are considered to be the axis. So on its axis, she will remain on its axis and she will move like this. Okay. So this movement, if it completes one complete round like this, it's too easy to move it right now, but in reality Earth takes 24 hours to complete one spin. All right, so you can imagine its speed is not that easy, which we can see over here, and we are moving it. It takes a whole day, night and day, to complete a rotation on its axis. Okay, and the day and night, day and night are also due to this movement. Okay, like we have got day, in the daytime we have got sun, and then we have got night. What is the reason? Because the surface that is towards the sun, okay, the surface that is towards the sun will be having day, and the other side will be having what? It will be having night. Okay, turn on to the next page. We have got formation of day and night. If a football is hanged with a string and light is thrown on it with a torch from a distance of 5 feet, you will see that half portion of the football is illuminated and the other half is darkness. Illuminated mean lighted, and the other half is darkness. Make the half portion, mark the half portion. Here you can see this half is in the sun and the other half sun, or you can see the torch, the light of the torch, and the other half is in the dark. So now if we rotate the football slowly, you will see that the portion which was in the dark has come into light, and the portion which was illuminated has gone into darkness. Okay, Days and nights are formed in the same way because the earth is like a football. Its half portion remain in front of the sun for a specific time. This is what day. This half portion experiences day while the other half portion experiences night. Due to rotation, that day and night are constantly interchanged. Let me show you on this globe. Alright, dear students, as you can observe that if this torch is the source of light, then you can imagine that the half portion of the earth that is in front of the sun is lightened and this other part is what? Is in the dark. So this is night and this is day. Now if you just spin it, and here you can see that now this portion is in front of the sun, so it has got day, and the back portion which was in the day, it is become into night. Okay, so this is alternative to each other. When this portion is in front of sun, it will be day and the other is night. So if it will spin and the other, here you can see now this portion is in the light and we have got day here and the night is on the back side. Okay. Okay, dear students, that's all from today's lecture. Inshallah, we will continue the same topic next time. Until then, you must try to do this experiment at your home. You people must have a football and a torch. You can easily do it. Okay. So whatever we have read today, you must have to learn it and go through it again and again so that all the concept will be clear to you. Okay, so we will continue next time. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.